Everyone, it's John from What Up, and welcome back to another video. Now, in the last couple of months, we've been absolutely begging for any scrap of information we can absolutely find about the second season of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show. That all changed when they started filming in Morocco because we're getting an absolute flood of information out of that area. Now, in the last couple of videos, I've talked about things that I can show you. Locals taking pictures and videos of the sets, things that are happening in and around them that are not private in any way, shape, or form and can actually be showcased and shown. And in fact, I have another video coming out in the next couple of days with some more set pictures and another set video for you folks that's safe to share. But there are a ton of things that I can't showcase, that I can't share here in the channel, and they are starting to make their way online. So they're showing up on Reddit, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, just in general news websites and on news groups online. So those are the things that we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, I have a couple of links to these things, and as we go through them, I'll talk about the links, showcase where the link is, where you can find this information, and we'll describe it, and we'll try to discuss on what and why they're doing some of the things they're doing in Morocco. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't know what we do here, we cover Wheel of Time show news, so anything and everything to do with Wheel of Time, well, that's what we talk about here. So if you like Wheel of Time content, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell because we put out a ton of Wheel of Time videos per week. Also, if you happen to like the video, make sure you click that like button because it does extend the channel's reach. And let's face it, the more people that watch my videos, the more videos I can do for you folks, and I really enjoy doing this. All right, with all of that being said, I'm going to give a slight spoiler warning now. So, spoiler warning, in this video, we're talking about elements of Season 2 of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show. So, if you haven't seen the first season, or if you don't want anything from the second season spoiled, or if you haven't read the first 3 books of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series, that's The Eye of the World, The Great Hunt, and The Dragon Reborn, be forewarned, I'm going to ruin minor plot points and character arcs from all 3 of those novels. All right, all of that being said, let's get on to the video. All right, so we're going to talk about leaks and spoilers. This is your last chance to bow out if you don't like that sort of thing. I have had people in the past tell me they don't like hearing this sort of thing in my videos, and I understand. It's not for everybody. It is what I really enjoy doing. I love leaks. I love spoilers. I like taking a small amount of information and speculating an entire season on it, even if I'm completely wrong, because it's fun for me. And it's fun for a lot of other people, and a lot of people who watch my channel enjoy it. But for those of you who don't enjoy it, perhaps this isn't the video for you, because we're going to talk a lot about different things that are happening in Season 2. So maybe go watch a news video or an explained video on my channel. This might not be for you if you don't like leaks and spoilers. That's pretty much all I can say. All right, so we're talking about 2 different types of leaks today. The first one are leaks that have made it to the general internet. So they're on Reddit, they're on Instagram, Facebook, different social media platforms. They are out and about, they're floating around. With these particular leaks, I've left links to them down below in the description box. Now, I will say right now that it is very hard to give credit for these leaks. Very, very hard. Because the people that have posted them on Reddit or in different places aren't the original authors. At least I don't believe so in most cases because I've seen them in other places long before they were ever posted. In fact, in the case of every single one of these leaks, I've had them for sometimes a week, 2, 3, or more myself, and I know other people have had them as well, so I can't really tell where they came from originally. I do normally like to give credit where credit is due. So in this case, we're going to say the people who posted them on Reddit, we'll give them credit for sharing the leaks and putting them out there in the wider fandom, but I can't really give credit to who posted them originally. That's the best I can do there. Now, in the case of every single one of these leaks, we have a link down below in the description box, and we're going to talk about the leak, and I'll tell you which link to take a look at. Now, I don't know how long these links will be up there. They are things that Sony and Amazon don't particularly like being shared around, so they may be taken down at some point or another, but I know that in most of these cases, they've been up for quite a few days now, so a lot of people have had the chance to see them. Now, the second set of leaks we're going to talk about today, I don't have anything to show you. These are new leaks that I've gotten in the last couple of days. They give us some hints and clues as to what's going on. They're pretty neat, but they haven't made their way to the wider net yet, so we'll talk about them. And I have no doubt in my mind that they'll probably float their way out there to Reddit and Instagram and different places over the next weeks or months, because, like I said, all the leaks that I've already currently have, they're starting to make their way out there now because I'm not the only person that gets them. Other people get them and they share them. So you're going to see them at some point or another. All right, with all that being said, last chance to bow out before we get into these leaks. All right, so leak number 1, Whitecloak Armor. So you'll notice that in Season 1, the Whitecloaks, their chainmail that they wore underneath looked more like a white tunic, I guess is the best way to put it. They had no big sunbursts on their chest or anything like the books had talked about. The armor, although I did like it, and a lot of other people did like it, a lot of people didn't think it was terribly accurate as to what it was described in the books. So there were some complaints, I guess you'd say, in the fandom. Much like they did with The Witcher, they upgraded the armor for Season 2. Now, the very first link down below in the description box is the upgraded armor. Now you'll see a Whitecloak standing there. It looks like he actually has physically like shiny chainmail underneath. His arm guard, his shoulder guard, they're shiny. He has a big yellow sunburst, kind of like embroidered on his chest. Very cool looking. A little bit different if you take a look at that picture and then take a look at, say, Bornhold from Season 1. Very different from the armor. Now, here's the thing. We don't know if perhaps what we've seen in Season 1 was traveling armor or traveling garb, and what we're seeing here for Season 2 is more, in essence, a wartime stance where they're actually getting ready for battle, or they're prepped to go scouting or things like that. I have no idea. I don't know if we're going to see the same costumes in Season 1 or Season 2. At the very least, it's different. It's something we haven't seen before, and I personally like this second season costume much better than we did in the first season. Even though I did like the first season costumes, I thought they were great. I thought they were super cool. I thought they were very iconic looking. But second season, they kind of dial it up to 11 here. I really do enjoy it. So let me know in the comments down below what you folks think of the new-ish. I'm going to say that with quotation marks around it, new, because we don't know if it's going to also be an addition to other costumes or if it's a different type of costume for the Whitecloaks. What do you think of this other Whitecloak costume? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so now we're going to talk about the second leak. So that's the second link down below in the description box to the first look at the Seanchan Soldier. There's a little bit to unpack here. I'm actually going to bring it up on my screen so I know what you folks are looking at. Pretty grainy, pretty out of focus, hard to see. I will tell you that this is a screenshot from a longer video. So this isn't a still, this isn't a picture that was taken on set. It's a screenshot from a video, and it's been cropped. So what you get to see here is you see Whitecloaks coming in through what appears to be a fortress door, and they're riding in behind, and you have the Seanchan Soldier sort of running towards the camera there. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about. First, the Seanchan Soldier. Really hard to see with this particular shot, but he is wearing a very iconic looking helmet. It's got kind of a weird bars over the mouth, eye holes cut out of it. It's really disturbing looking. It's absolutely amazing. I love the way they went with this look. It's really super bug-like. I like it way better than the Death Watch guards we got at the end of Season 1. The armor that he's wearing, the upper torso, it moved like it was leather. So it flopped around a little bit. It looked like it was gray and green and brown. It really cool looking. And you have it's so hard to tell from this photo, or the screenshot rather, but it's a maroon tunic kind of flared out over the pants underneath as they're running towards us. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that flag in the background. Now, that flag in the background is one I mentioned a number of times. It's popped up a whole bunch. This is a terribly bad shot of it. And in fact, the first few times that I got a look at this flag, or this banner rather, that's the way it looked. Out of focus, in the background, hard to see, just terrible. But at first I thought it was the Almoth flag, like the tree of Almoth on the field of, I said blue or green. It's because the pictures look like this. You can't really tell. We've gotten better looks at it since then. It looks a lot more like a hawk, or a bird of some sort with lightning bolts clutched in its talons and feet underneath. Again, we haven't seen a really high quality up close picture of it. I've seen better pictures, but nothing really fantastic. But I would dare say that this is most likely probably a Seanchan flag, and not a flag for Falme. That's my guess anyway. But that is the one I did talk about in the last couple of videos. So let me know in the comments down below what you folks think. Again, kind of a grainy screenshot from a wider video, but still neat nonetheless. What do you folks think of the flag? Give me your ideas. I mean, I've wanted a long time to get extra feedback on this. Like I said, it looks a little bit more like a bird in the better shots that I've seen than a tree, but either way, pretty neat. All right, so the third leak that we have underneath there, you can click on the link to take a look at it at Reddit, is a Waygate. Now, this Waygate was in Morocco. It looks exactly like the Waygate we've seen in Season 1. There's no real difference other than the fact that it's overgrown with vines, which I don't know if that's a dead-on style choice based on the fact that it looks like it's kind of in a jungle, or that maybe some people were a little upset that it was just a standalone stone structure with no embellishment whatsoever for Season 1, which... let's face it, I was really disappointed in the Waygate. It was one of the few things I was disappointed about in Season 1. I didn't like it. Didn't like the Waygate at all. I kind of made fun of it a little bit on Twitter here and there, especially when the Wheel of Time main account really went hard on how much they like Waygates. I didn't like it at all. So anyway, this is our first look at a Waygate for Season 2. I like it a little bit better with some of the vines and stuff over it. Makes it look a little bit more organic, like they're supposed to look in the books. But what's interesting here is you see a big black square in front of that with Waygate in Morocco. So it's been edited. This is a photo. It's a still photo that I've seen before. And in front of that Waygate is a Whitecloak. So it's been edited out so you can't see who or what that actor is, of course. But I will tell you it's a Whitecloak. And So that does kind of confirm that the Waygate is going to be in and around the area the Whitecloaks are filming, because it's on the same set that they're filming at, which is very neat. Now, we do know that the girls, Egwene, Elaine, and Nynaeve, as well as Leandrin, kind of make their way through the ways in Book 2, Great Hunt, towards Falme. So I'm wondering if perhaps that's going to be a thing as well. There's been a whole lot of speculation. Are we going to see the ways? Are we not going to see the ways again? They've done it once in the first season. Are they going to kind of do away with it, do something different? This kind of confirms the fact that I believe that they are probably going to take the ways from the tower all the way to Falme, which we think these sets represent Falme, but we're not entirely sure. And I'm going to shed some doubt on the fact that it might be Falme in the second half of the video when I talk about the leaks that I have that I can't show. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you folks think about the fact that the Whitecloaks are on the same set as the Waygate, and how the new Waygate looks, I guess is the best way to put it. All right, so we have two more leaks down below in the description box you folks can click on. The first one is of Seanchan Hairdo, I guess is the best way to put it. Now, I will tell you that this is a zoomed-in, cropped picture of a larger picture. So there's a big picture in front, they kind of zoomed in on this area in the background, they cropped it, they enhanced it a little bit, and that's what you're seeing here in Reddit. It appears to show what I think is a Seanchan noble, like one of the blood, with the sides of the head shaved, the big crested hairdo in the middle. Pretty neat, and there's absolutely no more information that I could get out of this particular photo. Trust me, I tried to enhance it as much as I could. The words aren't legible. There's nothing much I could do with it. If you folks can, fantastic. Let me know in the comments down below or send me a message, but I couldn't get much more out of it, other than the fact that it's a really neat way of showcasing how the Seanchan are actually going to look on screen for Season 2, because it shows what their hairdos are like. Kind of neat. Anyway, the last leak that I have down below that you folks can look at are Whitecloaks charging into battle. Now, this again is a screenshot of a larger video. Now, this video I talked about on my channel a couple of weeks ago shows a bunch of Whitecloaks charging towards a fortress in the background. Very cool to see. However, there is almost no new information in here. It was kind of hard to check out their armor due to the graininess of the video. We've seen that, I think, better in the very first leak that we talked about tonight. But I will tell you there's probably 8 or 9 Whitecloaks in the video. Hard to tell, hard to count, based on where they're positioned, stuff like that, but they were riding towards a fortress in the background. Now, that brings us to the leaks that I can't show you, because that fortress, I have a longer leak of that fortress, and it includes a couple of different things. So, of course, those banners are there. You get to see the courtyard, some other things that are going on, but what's really interesting is above the doors. So right above the doors going into the fortress, there is a stone plaque. I guess it's the best way to put it. Really hard to see what details are on it, so I took it and enhanced it a whole bunch and looked at it, and I've had some other people look at it, see what they thought. And essentially, I think it's this. You have 4 suns with a circle around them on each side of a larger crest in the middle. And the larger crest in the middle could be anything. It sort of kind of looks like the rising sun that we see in the chapters about Kyrian, but I don't know 100%. I have no real idea, because it's, it wasn't the focus of the leak, obviously. It was something that you had to zoom in and enhance on. So when I say this casts some doubt into the fact that this might be Falme, I'm saying that because we really don't know. We have no idea. We assume they're going to do Falme for the finale of Season 2, because that's where the big battle happens at the end of the Great Hunt. We assume they're going to follow the book in that respect. But what you gotta understand here is, if we were looking at all this information we have right now and had never seen Season 1, I would tell you with 100% surety, Season 2 is going to end with Falme. It's going to happen. We have too much there that is too familiar and similar to the books. We have Seanchan, we have Whitecloaks, we have a fortress, we have all of this other neat stuff going on. This has to be Falme. However, we've seen Season 1. We know that they stray from the source material in big ways in some cases, in order to amalgamate storylines, amalgamate characters, to pursue world building in a different and better way. So what we've seen in Season 1 is, for example, Four Kings was more of a mining town, and they amalgamated a bunch of other stuff into that particular small, very small storyline in the show to cover a lot of Random Matt's story. Tom, for example, fought a fade at the Grinwell farm. He was not with them at that point, so they got rid of Whitebridge and they used the Grinwell farm instead. They had a couple of episodes in the middle that showcased Tar-Valon quite heavily, that showcased the Warders and their society and what they did within each other, which I thought was pretty neat, that they got to show some of that stuff. There was a lot of things in Season 1 that did not happen in the books. There's a lot of changes, amalgamations, and different stuff that happened in order to further world building and further the story in a way that they could show certain things on the screen. And then we had episodes 7 and 8, where, of course, they had a certain plan for things, and things kind of went sideways on them, and they kind of made the best of the dog's dinner that was fed to them, and they ended up with what we had for episode 8. So Do I know that this is Fall May for sure? No. I 100% do not. Because of this, we're all guessing. I mean, we've had a lot of changes. We've had a lot of things moved around in Season 1. I've been told that Season 2 will have even more changes, but I've also been told that Season 2 will be spectacular and way, way better than Season 1, and the people working on it are very, very excited. So, what does that mean for this? I have no idea. All right, folks, that brings us to the last leak, the one that I can't showcase. And like I said, this casts some doubt in my mind that this is Fall May. So this leak shows that fortress, the one that the Whitecloaks were riding towards in much greater detail. Basically, it's kind of like a little mini tour of it, I guess the best way to say it. Shows the front doors. You go into the front doors in a courtyard. There's a couple of banners on either side. Pretty neat, although the banners really aren't much better quality than the one you've seen already today, so I couldn't really tell what they were, although it does remind me of a Seanchan banner. But again, no idea really without a much clearer picture. It's a little muddy for my taste. But what's interesting about this particular leak is that above the doors going in, there's kind of a carved stone plaque, I guess is the best way to put it. Now, I zoomed in on it, changed the levels on it, tried to make out exactly what it was. And what I can tell you for sure is it looks like there's 4 carved sunbursts on either side of something in the middle. The something in the middle, when I played with the levels a whole bunch and tried to see what it was, appeared to be, at least the bottom half, it looked a little bit like the sunburst, like the rising sun that's at the beginning of the chapters that hold Cairhien in the books. But it could be anything, really. So I got to thinking, and here are my thoughts on it, but I want to hear what you folks think in the comments down below. What do you think this means? To me, this means one of 3 things. Either this is Fall May and it's just a cool castle and that's there for whatever reason. It doesn't really matter. It's a neat thing on the outside and it means absolutely nothing, which is entirely possible. 2, this is a Whitecloak fortress. Whether it be in Fall May or in Amador or somewhere else, it's a Whitecloak fortress because you have those carved suns on the outside, the full suns and circles, and then you have something in the middle that could be related to the Whitecloaks or perhaps another sun. I don't know. That still could have this be Fall May and they could have a Whitecloak outpost there with this fortress. Entirely possible. The third idea that I had was this was a fortress in Cairhien. Now, we know Cairhien will be in the 2nd season, or at least we believe so, because Lord Barthanes was cast. We've had a bunch of extras cast for what we think are 4-gate scenes around the same time that Tom Maryland was on set. So it's entirely possible this is shots are doing now for earlier in the season for Cairhien. But again, I have no bloody idea what it means because, like I said, if I hadn't seen Season 1, I'd tell you with 100% this is Fall May. But now that I've seen Season 1, we know there's going to be massive sweeping changes. It's really hard to tell where they're going. So I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think this could mean? You have 4 sunbursts carved on either side of something in the middle that sort of kind of maybe looks like a rising sun, but could be anything else really because the quality was really low and I couldn't really make it out. What do you think that means? What do you think of the other leaks? And how do you think you're going to like Season 2? Let me know. Anyway, thank you so very much for sticking with me here to the very end. I hope you folks that are at JordanCon this weekend are enjoying it, and here's to many more.